Listen to news updates on Ebona, the 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebona FM breaks the news with actualities.
I believe that if we are hoping for a new Nigeria,
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update today, Wednesday, the 29th day of March 2023. And the time is a minute past the hour of 6. Martin Ifan Shukwikize is my name. The headlines. Banks pay between 10,000 to 40,000 in Anambra Delta to apply stringent measures against child abuse. EEDC to deploy 500,000 meters across Anambra. Ihedioha withdraws from Imo governorship race. Ebonyi Kuba court orders INEC to allow PDP's OD, ABGA candidates inspect election materials. School shooting in Nashville. As a nation, we can do better. Faith leader. Details. Banks pay between 10,000 to 40,000 in Anambra, following the disbursement of more cash to commercial banks across the country by the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). Banks in Anambra State are paying between 10,000 naira to 40,000 to their various customers. Our correspondent who monitors the situation in Oka, Onisha, and Nnewi gathered that the people are now happy as they can now withdraw more money for their daily needs. A bank customer at GTB Eke Oka branch, Mr. Kenneth Uzoma, who spoke to our correspondent, said the bank is giving a limited amount of naira to customers with other banks at the ATM post, while GT Bank customers got a maximum of 40,000. Newsman reports that the same operation apply in Zenith and UBA banks respectively. But at Union and Unity banks, their maximum withdrawal is 10,000 naira for those banking with them. 5,000 naira is for customers with other banks. It was gathered that as a result of the cash flow at the moment, POS operators in the state have started lamenting poor patronage. Delta to apply stringent measures against child abuse. Delta State yesterday reiterated its commitment to applying necessary measures against child abuse and domestic violence against children in the state. Commissioner for Secondary Education, Mrs. Rose Ezewu, stated this while flagging off a sensitization campaign on child abuse and other related crimes at Government Model Secondary School in Asaba. The commissioner, who spoke through the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Augustine Ogoro, said the exercise was organized by the ministry in collaboration with the Ministry of Justice in the state. Ezewu explained that child abuse and other related crimes had assumed a worrisome dimension. She said there were cases in connection with such abuses in court of law across the state, pointing out that the cases range from sexual abuse and molestation to other forms of domestic violence against children. The commissioner said the theme for the campaign, See Something, Say Something, Speak Out, was apt, noting that most of the victims had withdrawn and were unable to speak out on the incident. Earlier, the Director of Sexual Offences in the Ministry of Justice, Mrs. Uche Akamagwana, emphasized that the rate of sexual violence was alarming in recent times, adding that such sexual violence could occur at home and in school. Akamabuna disclosed that there were 10 sexual violence-related cases at the Federal High Court in the state, including fathers raping their daughters and other individuals involving in raping and domestic violence, adding that the punishment for the rape was life imprisonment. She advised the children to always report any individual touching or attempting to touch their private parts to the Ministries of Basic and Secondary Education and Justice, or call her on her cell phone for necessary actions. Akamaguna also that identified female genital mutilation as another form of violence against women, and that wife battering was inclusive. EEDC to deploy 500,000 meters across Anambra. Enugu Electricity Distribution Company PLC EEDC has expressed readiness to deploy 500,000 meters worth 37 billion naira to Anambra State. This was disclosed by the managing director of the company, Pravin Shoda, during the signing of memorandum of understanding between EEDC and the state government to ensure state power supplies across the state. Shade said that the memorandum of understanding was designed to achieve an overall business turnaround that would contribute to enhancement of service delivery, commercial performance, and stakeholders' value addition. He also stated that the partnership will strengthen business relationship between EEDC and the state and unlock opportunities for attracting additional investment to achieve twin objectives of increased reliability of power supply and commercial performance. He added that the model would improve service to customers and provide additional networks required to increase both reliability and the quality of supply towards attaining steady supply of electricity in the state. He said to strengthen our chosen franchise model, we have procured services of a reputable original equipment manufacturer, OEM, in the name of Siemens as our technical service partner. We shall leverage on this partnership to access high quality products and solutions for accelerating quality and quantum of electricity being provided in Anambra. More than 500,000 new meters estimated to cost about 37 billion naira are needed to close the state's metering gap, and this will definitely curtail losses emanating from estimated billing and customers' unwillingness to pay. He appealed to the state government to assist with public enlightenment and the use of local security apparatus to checkmate vandalization of EEDC's facilities in the state. Ihedioha withdraws from Imo governorship race. Former Imo State Governor Emeki Ihedioha has withdrawn from the People's Democratic Party's PDP's governorship primary in Imo State. Newsmen learned that Ihedioha, who was screened and cleared a few days ago by the PDP to contest the party's primary ahead of the November 11 governorship election in Imo State, informed the leadership of the party of his decision to step down. According to newsmen, the former governor, in a letter dated March 27, 2023, said his decision is based on personal sacrifice for a consensus candidate by the party. Meanwhile, Emeki Ihedioha had a few weeks ago boasted that PDP will win massively in the state. Speaking at the inauguration of members of the council at the party's secretariat in Owerri, Ihedioha said the PDP would defeat the All Progressive Congress (APC) and the Labour Party (LP) in 2023. According to the former governor sacked by the Supreme Court, the state has been predominantly PDP since 1999 and so had good chances of winning the 2023 general elections at all levels. In January 2020, the Supreme Court sacked Ihedioha as the governor of Imo State after barely 7 months in office. The seven-man panel, led by Chief Justice Tanko Muhammad, unanimously declared Hope Uzodinma of the All Progressive Congress (APC) as the winner of the March 19, 2019 governorship election in the state. The appellant, Uzodinma, had contended that he scored the highest number of votes in the election, but the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) returned Ihedioha as the governor of the state. Ebonyi Guba, court orders INEC to allow Peter PDP's OD APGA candidate inspect election materials. Justice Adekanye Ogumwe, in his ruling, granted the ex parte order directing INEC to allow the candidates to inspect the materials used for the elections. The Election Petition Tribunal in Abakaliki has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to allow the governorship candidates of the All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA), Bernard Odo, and the Ifeanyi Chukwu Odi of the PDP to inspect the March 18th electoral materials. The election produced Francis Nwifuru of the All Progressive Congress (APC) as the winner of the polls. Mr. Nwifuru polled a total vote of 199,131 votes to defeat Mr. Odi, who had 80,191 votes, and Mr. Odo, who got 52,189 votes. Justice Adekanye Ogumwe, in his ruling, granted the ex parte order directing INEC to allow the candidates to inspect the materials used for the elections. Mr. Ogumwe, the chairman of the three-man governorship and State House of Assembly election petition tribunal, also granted the candidates the permission to scan and make photocopies of electoral materials in INEC's possession. Adams Uzaunwa, counsel to Mr. Odi, and Obachuku, counsel to Mr. Odo, had earlier prayed the court to grant the relief sought in the motion ex parte in the interest of justice. Now we move over to the foreign scene. School shooting in Nashville. As a nation, we can do better. Faith leaders insist. As America grapples with the murders of 6 innocent lives, 3 adults and 3 children at a shooting at a Nashville, Tennessee Christian school on Monday, March 27, faith leaders are acknowledging the pain surrounding the tragic event while offering a practical and spiritual path forward. It is sorrowful to hear of another school shooting, said Father Jeffrey Kibri of South Carolina. As a nation, we can do better. Kebbi, pastor of Our Lady of Grace Catholic Church in Indian Land, South Carolina, also said to newsmen the school should be safe and secure. Young minds should feel comfortable and inspired to do great things. Schools should not be places of violence leading to anxiety and fear. Father Kebbi also said if we abandon our schools to fear, we rob our young people of their peace and we rob our nation of its future. He then turned to the lessons of the Bible for deeper context. The prophets teach us that we reap what we sow, he emphasized, expressing that we ask ourselves what we are sowing as a nation and what we can change for the better so that we can all reap the joys of peace and harmony. Father Kebe continued, there is a profound sadness of heart whenever a child dies, especially from violence. He added, we pray for the repose of the souls of the children who were taken from us. We pray for the consolation of the families and loved ones. Ed Vidajaliano, Executive Vice President of the American Family Association in Tupelo, Mississippi, told newsmen that the Christian community at large grieves with the Nashville families who lost loved ones. The love of Christ is needed more than ever before. Jake Bland, President and CEO of Youth for Christ USA in Eaglewood, Colorado, told newsmen via email the events that have unfolded in Nashville at the Covenant School are heartbreaking beyond words. He said, we are praying. This is one of the many violent tragedies that plague our communities across the United States. Young people are hurting and need us to come alongside them, said Bland as well. The youth of today are our future. We are committed to reach young people everywhere with the love, grace, and hope of Jesus, he said. This is where we draw the curtain on news update on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Banks pay between 10,000 to 40,000 in Anambra, Delta to apply stringent measures against child abuse. EEDC to deploy 500,000 meters across Anambra. Ihedioha withdraws from Imo governorship race. Ebonyi Guba, court orders INEC to allow PDP's OD, APGA candidate, inspect election materials. School shooting in Nashville. As a nation, we can do better. Faith leader insists. You just listened to news update on Ebona, the 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifan Shuku Ekeze. Thank you for listening. Good evening. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share, right? Thank you.